And welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the Countdown to Kickoff show on the JAKIB Sports YouTube channel, along with Rob Ellis and the coach, Henry Racich. I'm Joe Kraus, out at our favorite spot, Screwballs.
Greatest place.
Great spot. Glad to be here and glad to lead the audience into another week of Eagles football. My, oh my, Rob, it is amazing what a run this team is on. Now, as we come on the air to begin the Countdown to Kickoff show, I'm going to tell everybody about the coats that are in front of me. Yes, it's the 18th year of Krause's coats. Compliments of Steam Fitters Local 420.
Yes.
All right,
good job,
so
guys.
we'll meet the guys tonight. Good job.
Job.
By the Steam Fitters, and we'll meet and talk with Mike, Joe, and Jack a little bit later on. Barrett Brooks will be here
in person
tonight.
Yeah, baby.
All right, so we'll have Barrett Brooks as well.
Yeah.
And all kind of great stuff. But let's start with first your thoughts. I anticipate getting some good insight from the coach on that game last week against the Giants.
He's going to break this thing down like you've never seen before,
if
Joe.
If he can remember the game. But before we do that,
I'll never forget that game.
Welcome in, brother.
Thank you.
Start us off.
All right, I will tell you this, Joe. Utter domination is the way that I'll begin. I mean, they took them apart. The final score might have been 48-22. It was nowhere near that close. I mean, the Eagles could have been in the 50s had they kept their starters in the fourth quarter, and the Giants get 8 garbage points late. They took them apart from the jump. 3 straight touchdowns, boom, boom, boom. The first 2 lengthy drives, just doing whatever they wanted to do, executing, getting a fourth down. Then the last one, after that, whatever, that drop punt move, one play, go for the jugular. Next thing you know, it's 21-0. That game was over right there, Joe. They took their heart right out of the Giants. If the Giants, to me, they were just completely outclassed. They had no business being on the same field as the Eagles. What impresses me most is there's never a letdown. There isn't a letdown. I mean, they're playing a lesser team. They're in a situation where they could maybe overlook them, but they seem to never do it. And we'll get into, this upcoming week against the Bears and what it's going to look like. But I just think this team's way too focused to let nonsense get in the way. And you saw it again Sunday where they were the better team. They showed it, and they didn't let anything any outside noise in, and they didn't take their foot off the gas pedal. I thought it was really impressive.
I know it's a cold night. It's a rainy night. Nick, can you lower the heat in the building? It is so hot up on the set. It's so hot up here. Can you drop the heat? I know it's a cold night, and I didn't mean to veer off of the conversation.
I didn't know where you were going there.
My God, Nick, it's so hot in here. Will you please turn down?
Henry's going to go shirtless.
Well, you have an Indian rug on.
I mean, what's going on?
Henry, you rode the bus.
I'm chilling.
Henry, you rode the bus from here up to the stadium.
Joe, that game was unforgettable, and I can't remember a thing from the game. The game. It was just a blur for all of us. I mean, it was 21.
It was so much fun.
27 of us went up there. We all made it back.
Yes.
We had no rest stop incidents. It was, as far as I'm concerned, everyone that was on that bus said it was the best day of their life as far as
best day of their life.
Fan. Yeah, you heard Wes.
Okay.
We had a testimonial.
All right.
Because that was the best day of my life as an Eagles fan. And, we got after it. So we stayed well hydrated, pre-game meeting here at Screwballs. The bus left around 9:30.
Everybody stretched. Everybody was hydrated.
Out. Yeah, we stopped on the interstate. We made our own rest stop. That was hysterical.
Oh, boy.
Well, tell me about the rain, Henry. At one point, the rain was super, super heavy when the game was rolling on. What was that like in the stadium? Most of the Giant fans at that point probably left the building.
Well, it was pretty funny how we sat next to 5 or 6 Giant fans right there, and they were really obnoxious and really ignorant to any Eagle fan that was trying to walk past them. There was one guy that was just like acting like he didn't see him. Typical New York, and the accent was apparent right away, and that accent just instantly irks me. Mm-hmm. So me and my Mean Joe Green shirt, I stand to walk by the guy to see if he's going to give me the business.
Somehow I don't think he gave it to you.
He just took a nice step back. And
Henry, he wasn't going to mess with you. You would have kicked his
ass. It was funny because we went up, the kids went up. We were in our Steelers gear, and they were like, "What are you guys doing here?" And our answers were like, "We just want to watch some good football because it's not happening Pittsburgh this year. But they couldn't understand what we were doing there.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. But no, it was a pretty cool atmosphere up there, and the Eagles took over that. Eagles fans, I saw a ton of Eagles fans up there.
You know, the amazing thing about each week, and Rob, you get a chance to talk with Gunner and Barrett on Sports Take Monday through Friday on the JAKIB Sports YouTube channel, is every week is an elevated conversation about just how good Jalen Hurts is performing, and he seems to be performing better with each game.
Yeah, and there were 2 or 3 throws, Joe, that his receivers probably could have made plays on. He drops one down the sideline to Miles Sanders where Miles didn't quite get his feet in, but it was a beautiful throw. There was another one to A.J. that he probably should have caught. I mean, you look at the efficiency. What impresses me most when you look at his numbers generally, his completion percentage is way up. His passer rating is way up. He doesn't turn the ball over. He takes care of the ball. For a guy who's got the ball in his hands always, he's either running it or throwing it a ton. He doesn't turn it over. I mean, if you look at a guy like Mahomes and Josh Allen, they have way more interceptions than Jalen Hurts has. So the growth from year 2 to year 3, I don't think any of us saw coming. I think you asked Nick Sirianni, you asked Shane Steichen, the people inside the building, they didn't see this coming, this kind of leap. But he's really come into his own as a premier. He should be the MVP. It ends right now. He's the MVP in my estimation.
Yeah, I've never seen a quarterback in one calendar year make the game slow down the way he did. The game slowed down. He's like a remote control. He's controlling. He's putting moves on pros that make him look like Pop Warner players.
Yeah.
He's dialed in. I mean, laser focus every single snap. You know how hard that is for the entire football game for that guy to be dialed in, to not make the mistakes. Mahomes and them, he rides off his name once in a while.
Yeah, no gamble.
He'll gamble with 2 receivers. He'll throw balls nobody has any business playing.
Right, and that's confidence. He's got confidence.
Yeah, because he's got that pedigree and that resume of being great. Well, Hurts is elite. He's in that conversation. Well, and the Eagles are not getting the credit.
Yeah.
They keep getting snubbed. Why do they keep getting put behind Dallas in all the rankings? Blows my mind, other than Dallas is America's team
and to get people
the
talking
PR
about
machine, and because they're definitely not getting the respect.
Henry, help me understand that just a little bit more in terms of Jalen's ability to slow the game down to the point that he's out excelling what's in front of him on every down. It really is an amazing statement. I don't understand how he's doing it. What's your thought on it?
Well, I mean, as a coach and playing, training great athlete, working with a bunch of Sixers guys, when they are completely relaxed and just playing, there's no fuzz, there's no traffic upstairs, they're just playing ball. I mean, he knows the playbook inside and out. They open it all up to him. He knows he can shut his eyes and tell you where 2 receivers out of 3 are going to be, probably within 5 yards with the clock he has in his head. So being a running back, his vision is just crazy. He sees all the holes, and he sees the holes in the defense, but he is now laser focused and playing. You can put him in the backyard. He's just as relaxed. I mean, I always say Jordan was, the greatest player ever, who missed 90,000 shots.
Right.
He had 33 times he could have won the game, and he missed the game. But on the foul line, driving in the paint, through all that traffic, he's so relaxed. And Jalen Hurts is playing relaxed backyard football.
I'll give you 2 things that jump out, and there's a lot. One is this guy is so prepared, Joe. There's nothing he's seeing that's going to take him aback a little bit, or is going to, he's utterly prepared for the game. That's a tribute to him because this dude works. I mean, he's first in, last out, and that's not a cliche. It's real. You ask anybody on that. I've talked to players.
Nick Sirianni actually say
like
this guy's in the building more than anybody else.
Every player I talk to, I'll pull my, hey, really? And they're like, no, it's real. He's first in and last out. The other thing is, give credit to these coaches, man. Like Brian Johnson, who's the quarterback's coach, has known him since he was a kid in Houston. That was a great hire. Shane Steichen's done an amazing job. Even though before the season started, he probably wasn't anywhere near as well known as, say, Jonathan Gannon was. And then Nick Sirianni, you've given this guy a foundation and a culture where he can grow. And he's taken the ball and just run with it, no pun intended. But, I mean, because he's so ready for everything that Henry just laid out, everything slowed down because he knows what he's doing. He saw it last year. Last year he really used as that learning curve and that transition from getting a little sniff that first year when Carson, went and blew into bits. And then this third year now, and he's just in an upper echelon.
Question for you. Is it Jalen, or is it the players that are new to the roster that have made him MVP?
You know, I think the roster that was put together for this team, all of a sudden, every position has a marquee player. They all have their limelight. They're very unselfish. There's no me ball in that whole entire offense. That ball can go anywhere. Every week we have a different star, you know, rising up and taking the center stage. But I just feel like this team is crazy glued together from the top down. The coaches are doing an unbelievable job. This 2-year curve or 1-year curve, everybody elevated their game.
Yeah.
And it seems like when I talk about Hurts's focus, he's laser focused in every interview. And how he talks, the rest of the guys are talking.
Yep.
This team is, I don't see a team that's as well-rounded, strong, with B players coming up right behind A players. They're stacked with depth. I don't see another team like that. I see a lot of flaws with the Chiefs. They're up and down. They look good.
Bills, Chiefs.
All these teams
issues,
touted as Super Bowl contenders. I see the Niners as more of a problem to the Eagles than any one of those teams because of their defense.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But this team is focused from top to bottom. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
You rarely see it from a bunch of young guys with a bunch of old guys at the top just coming together.
Agreed.
They're
And look,
dialed in, the whole team.
They have crazy talent. I mean, you already have a 1,000-yard rusher, a 1,000-yard receiver. You're going to have another one with Devontae Smith. Had Dallas Goedert not gotten hurt, he might have got over 1,000. You could have had 3,000-yard receivers, a 1,000-yard runner. You have arguably the best offensive line in football. Lane Johnson hasn't given up a sack in 26 games. I mean, we could go on and on and on. We haven't even gotten on the defensive side of the ball where they've taken the ball away more than anybody else. They have more sacks than anybody else. They're the best team in football against the pass. This team is loaded. And I know we all get afraid saying it like we're going to jinx something, right? You don't never know what could happen. Somebody get hurt, yeah. But if we're just talking about right now, this is the most talented team in football.
They definitely are. They're hands down, and they're just not getting respect. But, I mean, when you see an offense and a defense stacked like this team is, it's hard to imagine they have to play really. They
have to shoot themselves in the foot like they did against Washington.
So I keep saying, to people, I'm like, only thing stops this team is it the injury bug and bad luck, because you put them all on the field together with this one mindset, and maybe they all have a B game.
Yeah.
Well, 52 guys on the roster having a B game. They're going to be tough to beat, man, for a long time.
The only loss is Washington, where you had a ball that A.J. Brown normally catches. It gets batted up in the air and picked off. You have Quez Watkins trying to make a play where he gets up after he fell down and gets stripped from behind. You have Dallas Goedert face masked, pulled to the ground, fumbles. They recover it. The Eagles shot themselves in the foot in that game. That's it. If they play their game even close to an A game, they shouldn't lose. And I know the competition's going to be a lot better when you play San Francisco's defense. We'll see if Brock Purdy can hold up here over the long haul. Dallas has their flaws themselves. I mean, Minnesota, the Eagles beat them head-to-head. All the teams that we're talking about, and even like Coach just said, the Chiefs and the Bills, they've had their own issues, over this season. And it's been a pretty clean year here for this Eagles team. The little things, too, they've cleaned up the penalties. They had 2 penalties for 9 yards. The run defense.
Apparently they bottled that 2 best backs in the league.
We're up in arms about the run defense.
Right.
A month ago, they've shut down Derrick Henry. They've shut down Jonathan Taylor. They've shut down Saquon Barkley. Now, they're going to get a test with Justin Fields because of the way he runs around for sure. But all of the areas that we harp on, even the special teams, and they lost their punter, but the special teams is way better. The return game is better. The kick returns, the punt returns are better. The coverage units, adding Christian Ellis has been a big addition for them, even though he spells his last name wrong. 2 S's, 1 S.
Right.
But no, that's the other thing. They're not afraid to work on what the issues are. And I think that says a lot about the coaching staff. Because they'll get into these guys if they're seeing something they don't like. They don't just let it go. They don't cut corners. Sirianni will call guys on the carpet and make them accountable.
Question for the coach. Is there a vulnerable spot on this football team? It almost doesn't appear that there is. And I ask that question because, we talk to NFL insider John McMullen a lot. He does Birds 365 on the channel with Jody Mack. He does the JAKIB Sports pregame show. He does the postgame show, and he's even made this comment on the countdown to kickoff, where depending on what is happening in the game, the Eagles adapt to that.
Terminator, the gel Terminator, the guy who just
and win that football game based on what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't see anything glaring, and if you're a defensive coordinator trying to defend this team, good luck, pack a lunch, because the weapons are everywhere. And it's one thing to have the weapons, but to have the scheme to complement the weapons, where a defense's success is short-lived. All right, you stopped us for a 2-yard loss. I mean, this is the perfect offense.
Yeah.
They have an answer for an answer for an answer.
Yep.
So anytime the defense thinks they get one up, boom, they get blown up on the backside with something else. It must be for Nick Sirianni. The only thing that could make this season a little better for me as a coach on the outside watching is if the Eagles were doing hard knocks. So we could hear the things that Nick Sirianni is saying to this team, because he's that wizard with that whatever juice he's making, they drank it.
Well,
and it's up and down the roster.
You're right. Let me give you one more on that. So I laughed. We were at Screwballs last week. I was talking to some people, and a couple Eagles fans said to me, I don't know, man, it's going to rain a lot. I'm really worried about that. I said, well, what are you worried about? Like, what? Well, the Giants are a really good running team. I said, what are the Eagles? The Eagles are a phenomenal running team. And that means a lot when we get later in the year and it's really crappy weather, when it's cold or whatever. They can adapt to anything. They're not at the mercy of throwing it. They're not at the mercy of running it. It doesn't matter. It not only doesn't counter what defensive coordinators are doing, you're oblivious to any of the surroundings. It travels well. If you need to go on the road, which hopefully they won't, at least until the Super Bowl, which is a neutral site. But none of that matters because of the way that they play. They're not this warm weather team that has to throw the ball, or they're not just pound it down your throat. They can kill you in the air.
I'm going to say that it may not come out this year, but I think eventually down the road, 2 and 3 years down the road, if Hurts continues to play like this, I think you're going to find out that his maturation, his one leap jump from mediocre to now playing elite, is him with a chip on his shoulder, because I think he listened to the noise from the Phillies fans. This may be the only time their negativity has a positive outcome, because he probably heard all the chirping in the offseason. He went out to Arizona, new trainers, working out with Brown. This guy's playing with a serious chip on his shoulder. You know, he runs a linebacker over on the two of them to get in the end zone. He is playing with a little attitude and a little anger out there on the field.
The only thing I would push back on you on that is I don't know if Jalen Hurts will ever listen.
I didn't say it affected him. I said he listened and responded.
Yeah,
he wanted to shut people up
after
last year.
He uses it in a way where it's not a distraction, where it's in his head like, oh, man, like these guys.
It's like Waterboy stuff.
The
movie The Waterboy.
Yeah, it is.
I used to do that in the ring.
I think there's a piece of him that's been, look, this goes back to when he got benched at Alabama.
Yeah.
And he dealt with it in the best possible way there. The next year, he comes in and helps win them the SEC championship. The year after that, he's like, all right, I'm out. I'm going to do my own thing. Crushes it at Oklahoma. So having gone through it at 20, 19, whatever he was when that happened, served him well at 23 into 24 because he'd already been through it. So I think I totally.
But he always had to explain it. Like he had doubters everywhere he went. So I think the doubt bug. He heard the doubt bug.
That's fuel.
He's put on like 15 pounds of muscle.
Dude,
all the workouts, like that guy went into the lab and locked the door and threw the key away. And so this year, I'll show them.
His lower body is insane. I mean, the guy squats 600 pounds.
Now everyone's going to look for the next Jalen Hurts.
Well, they are, but good luck. I mean, like those guys don't grow on trees. But, look, however you slice this, the leap that we've seen from year 2 to year 3, I've never seen. Like, Wentz took a big step from year 1 to year 2. 16 was his rookie year. The next year was that was incredible. But it was, it was a little bit more expected from Wentz because of where they took him, second overall. This guy's a second-round pick.
Right.
So I didn't see this coming. I thought he was owed the chance to play this year because it would have been the best circumstance. He improved enough last year for me. Let's see what this guy has.
There were so many questions. If you go back to the draft, Rob Ellis, when we did the draft show down at Ocean Casino Resort inside Topgolf. Henry, you came down. You were there when
awesome.
we did
Saw you guys down there.
When we did the draft show. Even the big boys, Mike Quick,
Yeah,
Seth Joyner, D. Gunn. There were so many questions about Jalen Hurts. So many from John McMullen that he's now on a Jalen Hurts apology tour. Right?
Well, yeah, and think about it. That night, they didn't have A.J. Brown yet. We were still in, I don't really know what this is. Like, they made the playoffs, but they were 9-8. They didn't do a ton in the offseason. We didn't know what this was going to be. And I'm telling you, man, everything started rolling downhill in a good way and picking up steam when they made the A.J. Brown trade. It just felt like, boom, here we go. And it just sort of changed everything that went down. We got handsome people on the set. Look at this, man.
Big What's up, brother?
BCB in the house.
Big B in the Well, Barrett's here. You know what that means? Let's get to a break and let's get him in the chair.
Let's go.
It's the Countdown to Kickoff show. Barrett Brooks in the house out here. It's, of course, Krause's coach tonight, and we kick it off. We'll meet Mike, Joe, and Jack from Steam Fitters Local 420. They brought out just a small contribution of what they actually collected. Tomorrow I will go up to Steam Fitters Local 420 and I will pick up another 120 coats from the Steam Fitters.
Good work out of the Steam Fitters, man.
Just an amazing thing from them as well as we roll along here on the Countdown to Kickoff show. Back in a moment.
Number 1, Jeff D'Ambrosio. Destination Downingtown is rolling back prices for December to remember. For a limited time, you can own, not lease, brand new 2023 Jeep Wranglers for only $30,995 or $339 per month. New Rams starting at only $30,995 or new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs $189 per month. Zero down can deliver. Get the price you want, the selection you need, and the VIP treatment you deserve. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Big Finish Sales Event.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Celebrating the life of your loved one is what we do at Life Celebrations by Givenish. When the matriarch of the Dalloway family died suddenly at 82 years old, Life Celebrations by Givenish stepped in.
They will make this the easiest thing that I know it's not easy, but they will make this as easy as possible.
Life Celebrations by Givenish, customizing services as unique as the individual.
I just know that my dad, who is in charge of everything, was not in charge of anything at that point when my mom passed. And again, just another shout out to this place for making it easy.
Turning tragedy into a celebration of life, no matter how hard, is what we do at Life Celebrations by Givenish. Life Celebrations by Givenish, customizing services as unique as the individual.
All right, welcome back into Screwball's Countdown to Kickoff. We've taken it up a notch. When you have a 12-1 team and we have an unbelievable coat drive, thanks to all the folks who dropped off a coat and our good friends.
Incredible.
Yeah, Steve Vitters 420, we appreciate you guys. But we figure when you have a 12-1 team, you got to bring it up a notch. And look who we're joined by. My partner on Sports Take, each and every day, 12 to 3, along with D-Gun, the one and only pork chop himself, Barrett Brooks. Yes,
what's up?
Brooksy in the house.
Appreciate you guys having me back, man.
Anytime.
The only thing Barrett needs is stateside right now. I mean,
Where's my stateside?
We got to make that happen.
Man? It's on the way.
It's coming.
Oh, and then you got mine in the truck.
We got some special stuff for you for later.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We took care of you, man. But Barrett, we were just talking with Krause and Coach and I were just kind of going sort of a general, looking back at the Giants game, but a general, just kind of where this team is. I want to hit you with this. So in looking at I'm talking about team growth, not just Jalen, but this was a 9-8 team that kind of, let's face it, backdoored into the playoffs last year. If they keep doing what they're doing, they could conceivably have 1 or 2 losses and be the first seed, have the best record in football. How do you go from what it was last year to what it is this year? If you had to put your finger on one thing, what's the biggest reason?
The maturation of their fearless leader.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be everything about Hurts. Hurts is playing at an unbelievable level. And once you have everybody believing you, meaning, of course, the offense is going to believe in him.
Yeah.
But you also have the defensive side of the ball, special teams, and more importantly, the coaches believe in what he can do. They believe in what he's saying.
Yeah.
And it just so happened he was raised by a coach, so everything he says is almost coach-esque.
It is. Yeah,
I mean, listen to all the sayings that he said. He didn't talk like we talk. You know, he don't get with the
When
yams and all that
well
stuff.
scripted.
He said, yes, once you got to go out there, cross your T's, dot your I's.
A lot
You
of
gotta make
deposits,
I mean,
yeah.
come on, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Brennans always do. You got to make deposits. Who talks like that?
What 24-year-old talks
Right,
like
that's what I'm
that?
saying. I still don't talk like that. I'm thinking myself as being pretty daggone mature. But, I mean, his maturity level is at another level, man.
Yeah.
But we should have known it because everywhere he's went, every level he's been to, he's been successful. He's been a champion.
Yeah.
So why would we think anything different? He has done everything possible, not just to go out and make himself a better player, but also mentally, physically, emotionally. He has changed how he is, which is changing how his team is.
You lived this before, and you'll like this comp that I'm doing here, Coach. When Ben was a rookie, you were there in Pittsburgh,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
And you guys went on a magical ride. But was Ben this kind of mature?
Not even close. You know, it was the team that made Ben. He was just Ben then, Ben Roethlisberger. He was not Big Ben.
Yeah.
He was Ben Roethlisberger. His first 2 years, we just had such a dynamic team. We ran the ball the way we wanted to run it. We had receivers that weren't even great, but they were great for our system.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have to go out there and toss the ball 1,000 times. You give it to Buster, you give it to Fast Willie Parker, you going to get first downs. The offensive line is one of the best offensive lines in the NFL at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody across the board. I mean, even a Hall of Famer, you know, and Big
Faneca,
Red, Faneca. So when you have that type of system, those guys in, he was pretty much, you know, hand dealt.
Just don't screw it up.
Yeah, you know, that's all. Just don't F it up.
Yeah.
Period, point blank. Just don't F it up, you know. So, you know, it's like, it's one of those things where when you have that much talent on a team with that many leaders, with those guys that are mature and understand what's going on, it's easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally different from what it is right now. Jalen is molding this team, not necessarily the team molding Jalen.
Yeah, you're right.
He's molding this team.
Yeah,
he's making these guys better. They're talking just like him.
Yeah.
What about Nick Sirianni? And I was saying the only thing that would make this season more cool is if they were on Hard Knocks, so we could hear what is he saying to these guys. Did Jalen get them all to buy in? Did he get them all to buy in? A combination of those two got them all to buy in?
No, it was absolutely his ability to go in and talk to Fletcher Cox, get him on the same page.
Yeah.
Lane
Sirianni,
Johnson.
Because he was disgruntled last year, right?
Yeah, he was.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Lane Johnson bought in. Kelsey bought in. Once those guys bought in,
So he got the vets first.
The young guys will come in and do it. He said the first thing he did was to figure out who was the head dog, who was the lead dog in the locker room.
Yep.
You got to go to them first. Once you go to them and you can get them underneath your, you know, what not necessarily
Was that Kelsey?
spell.
Was that
yeah,
Kelsey?
of course.
Yeah.
Kelsey. It was Kelsey. It was Lane. It took
Brandon
him a while
Graham.
to get Fletcher Cox. Brandon Graham was always going to be in.
Yeah.
The O-line led the charge.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always going to be in. But, I mean, you had to get guys like that in order to, you know, make everybody else flip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You're not going to be able to have guys come in and say, you can't tell a veteran that's been in the league 10 years, all right, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it, period, point blank. He'll looking like, what?
Oh, Cox was
First
like,
of
I
all,
don't chase screens. Did
he
he
like-
say something like that?
But like, first of all, bro, I make more money than you do, and I'm probably the same age as you are.
Yeah.
I got kids at home. You can't just tell me what to do.
Right.
Now you can ask me, and I may do it.
Right.
But you can't come in and just boss guys around like that. You have families. You got grown men in those locker rooms.
Well, I tell you, we all remember it. It was a pretty memorable moment. But the whole thing with the plant and the seed and the growth.
Right.
Here's where I'm going with this. Because we all on the outside were like, what?
A little corny.
What is going on here?
But
I remember Kelsey that week saying, yeah, we buy that. Like, we do. And I knew.
I got my shovel out.
Yeah. When I heard that, I'm like, all right, something's different here. Something's different with this guy. Like, he gets away to connect to these guys. And that's when I kind of knew they chose the right guy, number one, as the head coach. And props to Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman because, hey, let's face it, we were all like, Nick Sirianni.
Who saw this coming?
Who saw this coming, right?
Who the heck is he?
Yeah.
Where did he come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how did he get into the coaching? I mean, like look at what's going on right now. Steichen and Gannon on everybody's radar.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you have a great team. Everybody comes to pick and pillage from your team. You know, when I won the Super Bowl, all those coordinators, all those big-time coaches got picked, you know, like a tree and took them. The same thing's happening here. They see the success. Like Steichen. Steichen might be the hottest name out there right now. Yeah. They're going to bypass Eric Bieniemy. All these guys that, you know, that have been trying to be groomed, you know. Even, what's his name, DeMarco?
DeMeco Ryans.
DeMeco Ryans.
Yeah.
Even DeMeco Ryans. He's going to be in a position where he's going to be a head coach. But these two on this team have leapfrogged him.
Let me give you another
conversation.
Brian Johnson, the quarterback's coach, might be a coordinator somewhere next year.
There's no question about that.
So you might lose both your coordinators and your QB coach.
If he goes to Pittsburgh.
I'll tell you what, that guy, man, deserves a ton of credit.
Canada needs to get out of there, man. What's that, Canada?
Yeah,
Canada needs to be out of there, bro.
Needs to go to Canada.
Yeah.
So Barrett, we were talking before you got here about Jalen Hurts from last year to this year. Do athletes hear a little noise because he's playing with a chip? Yeah. He's been doubted at other places before, but Philly has a way. If you're trying to block it out, you still find out somehow or another. It's tough to not hear the crowd, but his in 1 year for him to put on 15 pounds of muscle, for him to just
20 pounds of muscle,
20 pounds of muscle, to just transform himself physically, for sure you could see, but mentally, he's always been tough. But did he listen to a little bit of noise? Because he seems like he's playing with a chip.
He's a coach's son, so he's not going to admit it. But you hear it. You're only human.
Right.
He's a human being.
Well, you've been in the league. You heard it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I read the articles. I listen to ESPN. I listen to all that stuff. They said about me, oh, he's a backup. You know, he won't make a team this year. Well, 4 teams after my 8th year, you know, I've had a 12-year NFL career.
Right.
He's heard all of the, oh, are they going to, you know, what are they going to do with him? We have 3 first-round picks. We're going to go out and get us a quarterback. He heard that, and he put it all in the bank. What does he say? He deposited?
Yeah, there's a lot of deposits. Yeah.
He deposited all back
and
there.
And that drives you in the gym. That makes you want to prove people wrong.
Not just the gym, but just sitting down, diagnosing what he needed to do to get better at what he needed to get better at. He had to go in and really diagnose and see why he was lacking in his pre-snap reads, why the ball wasn't getting out on time, why his mechanics weren't where they're supposed to be at, why I didn't go out there and hit this pass, why I didn't trust this receiver to do this. He went and looked into all that to become a better player.
In one off season, this is nuts. He's elite. He's playing elite right now.
I don't think we took into account like a maniacal work ethic enough with this guy.
Right,
because that's what it is. It's not just
it's like the Mamba mentality.
Yeah, it's not. Look, a lot of guys
it's borderline crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Right, obsessed.
A lot of guys work hard, and then there's guys who take it to another level, and I think he did. I think. Look,
borderline Brady.
I think last year it was there for him. Like he knew what to do, but just mechanically he wasn't doing it.
Yep.
Now the body and the mind are one here. Not to get too
he's
zen.
just balling out, Miyagi. He's balling out, Miyagi.
Hey, Coach, it's almost Rain Man-esque.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he has to repeat it.
The game slowed down for this guy. So
and once that happened, man, once that game slows down for you, and you start seeing things and reacting on things that you didn't see before.
Right.
Like he may be sitting there, ready. And he see that linebacker just creep one little bit. Once he creeps one little bit, he knows where this guy, he's going to vacate that area. So he knows he has a stop route coming around. He knows exactly as soon as he hits the ball, hit that pre-snap. Boom, I'll throw it to that snap route, that stop route right there. That's the things that he taught himself to see and read faster. It's unbelievable, man, how fast that stuff is, how fast you have to process that stuff.
Yeah, he's like in the Matrix right now.
Yeah,
like his laser focus has been so impressive for me. My other thing was, as a defensive coordinator, how much of a nightmare is this team?
Bro, it's tough, man.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
What do you key on here? Like, what's the first thing you got to take away?
I mean, Hurts.
I would go so far as to go in and look at old Oklahoma film, bro.
Okay.
Oklahoma, the Sooners.
When he played there?
I'm talking about back in the day where they ran the triple option.
Oh, way back in Barry Switzer days?
Yes, not necessarily see what they're doing, but see how teams try to defend them because you have to be assignment correct to play this Eagles team.
Right.
If they're running an RPO, if you're an end, you crash down, tackle the runner.
You got to hit everybody. Everybody on the play got to get hit, whether you have the ball or not. You got to hit everybody.
You go, you tackle the running back.
Right. Even if you don't
the
have
next
it.
guy that scrapes around,
Send a message.
You have to tackle the quarterback, whether he has the ball or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the truth.
True.
No,
I mean,
that's
just
the only
go
way to
through
stop it.
And have those type of reads. Your
But what
responsibility
defense
right here.
has those athletes to do that
That's
against
the problem.
these athletes every week?
And if you're leaving these wideouts singled up, it's over. If you're leaving Goddard by himself, it's over.
And look
Goddard's coming back this week.
Exactly, but look at Big Mouth. Big Mouth and wrote a check his butt can't cash. Micah Parsons was totally he was totally put in a position where whatever he picked was wrong.
No win. Yeah. He was a no win.
I mean, if he slanted down, Jalen pulled the ball and ran with it. If he stayed outside, he handed it off to Miles Sanders and he ran with it. If he sat there and just ran right towards him, he threw it in behind him to the tight end. Pick your poison. I can beat you.
Think about the defense that can beat the Eagles. Somebody that can consistently on the defensive line beat Lane Johnson.
Yep.
Somebody as a linebacker that could run with and spy Jalen Hurts. And two corners that have to lock down A.J. Brown and Smith. Is there a defense there close to there?
The only one that I would say
Niners?
Maybe the Niners. Yeah, maybe the Niners. But the question with the Niners is, are they going to be able to generate enough offense?
Right,
You know, this kid's done a nice job so far. I give him props. He doesn't look scared. I'll give him that for sure. But is he going to be able to bring them back down in a big game? Is he going to put together that drive you got to get in field goal range to kick it? I don't know about that. I need to see that from Brock Purdy.
Absolutely. He's a young guy. Put him against our defense, he wouldn't have a snowball's chance because our defense are great at all three levels.
Yeah.
Defensively, we have the most sacks out of any team in the NFL.
Yep.
So we can generate pressure up front.
And they're not a big blitz team. I was
That's
going to
the
say
other
that.
thing. They don't. They're 16th in blitz percentage. They're right in the middle. They don't blitz a ton, which drives everybody around here nuts. I don't care. They still get to the quarterback.
That man, the bottom line is as long as they win, I don't care. If you put me back at player safety and we win the game, I just don't care. You know,
Very unselfish team.
It's almost like, you know, and in that sense, I look at what Micah Parsons said, and I understand it. I understand what he said, even though it was slight. That wasn't a slight jab. It was an overhand, you know what I'm saying, jab at, it hurts.
Yeah.
But he's saying, it's not just Jalen. It's that great offensive line, the great wide receivers, great tight end, great running back, and the great play caller. So, of course, Jalen's going to be great, but what he doesn't understand, the offensive line is great because he bails them out sometimes when they can't block. That running back is great because our defense has to pause for a second because they don't know if Jalen's going to have it or Miles is going to have it.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't know if
the scheme has just as much.
That's
to
what
do
I'm
with
saying.
it,
So
right?
it's a conglomerate of everything working together, and he's the orchestrator. He paints a broad picture, and people don't understand how to find out details of that broad picture that he makes happen.
Yeah, the problem defensively is the NFL is a game of speed. Boom, react, go. You can't. This offense makes you
Pause
to read before you just take off, and that little pause.
That's it. That kills you.
It gives me an opportunity as an offensive line to get up on my linebacker, get up on my defensive lineman. That little pause secures the block. The little pause that Miles Sanders has when he dipped outside, and then a linebacker went outside, and then the offensive line was able to hit him, and Calcaterra came through and he followed him through for the touchdown.
Yep.
That little pause made him score that touchdown. That little pause is something that you can't account for on a game-to-game basis.
And that's the thing. You're right. All it takes is like that millisecond, and if you're just this far off, it's over. Think about how fast these guys are.
Bro, it's like,
that's it.
what was you gonna do?
And that's all it is.
You're done right now.
And by the way, I just messed myself.
Clean up aisle two. Clean up aisle two.
I need a break. But really, for real though, that's all it takes, man.
Just that one.
Why does one hand cover your whole torso? Come on, Rob. I'm not worried. We're in the gym tomorrow morning.
I'm not worried about the torso. It's something else that just happened. An involuntary action just occurred.
Yeah, but Barrett, I think it's crazy how, as much as the NFL has evolved and Air Coryell and that the old option is what's killing everybody.
Yeah,
right
the
now.
old college
the old read
almost.
option.
Yeah, that's all it is.
How about the running games are coming back? When I got in the league, everybody wanted running backs. Running backs were getting paid out the yin gate. Emmitt Smith, guys like that.
I love what's happening now.
Yeah. Exactly. So
the
look
big
at
boys.
it now.
Yeah.
Everything's starting to change now. Back to that type of deal. You know?
A little bit of smash mouth. So this is after all the defenses. Linebackers got smaller, faster, so they can cover backs, and now all of a sudden you got the beef.
You got Landon Dickerson hitting you in the mouth.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nursery that you can't stop. You know, that's the movable object. When you hit, bam!
Yeah, that's a big cattle up there, man, for sure. All right, so Barrett's going to hang. We're going to come back, and as you can see, we got some unbelievable coats right here in front of us.
Great
here
job.
at Screwballs.
Great
amazing
great
job
kids.
by all the folks coming by. We appreciate it. And we're going to chat with our friends, the Steam Fitters from 420 are going to be joining us when we come back. We'll get a little more on that. But we are countdown to kickoff, coming to you live from Screwballs, King of Prussia.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
Regard, defamation cases as maybe the most important or the most profound cases there are, because we only get one reputation, and you don't get a second chance once it's destroyed. To have your reputation destroyed is really to ruin everything about you. It ruins you, it ruins your family's view of you, it ruins your neighbor's view of you. You go to a party, you don't know who's looking at you sideways because they heard, you're a this or you're a that. It is an extraordinarily difficult thing to live with. And for that reason, when we represent defamation clients, it really is the most profound type case we could be handling.
All right, welcome back in. Countdown to kickoff. We're coming to you live from Screwballs in King of Prussia. We've just raised the talent level as if that wasn't possible. Barrett raised it, and then we just raised it back up. We got our friends here joining us from the Steam Fitters Local 420. We got Mike Merzejetsky right here. We got Joe Arell. We got Jack Delaney here. We got the guys, and fellas, we brought you here not only because you're a great conversationalist and we love talking to you, but we do have our coat drive here, and you guys have been very kind and very generous in what you were able to produce here and donate, and you do each and every year, and we do appreciate it. So first off, thank you very much for what you guys have done. We really do appreciate it. But Mike, I'll start with you on this one, man, because you guys play such an integral role in this. Tell me about what goes into this and the amount of coats that you guys have donated, the amount of money, the amount of time that your union and all your fellow workers have stepped up with.
Yeah, man. Our business manager, Jimmy Snell, he's instrumental in this whole thing. He rallies everybody together, and it's credit to our membership. We got over 3,000 members, and once that word came out that we need coats for the kids, everybody. So we had union meetings and Christmas meetings, and everybody donated. We raised about $7,000, and then on top of that, everybody brought coats. So all
you
the
guys
meetings.
did in addition to raising the money.
In addition to raising the money,
Awesome.
So then we took all the money and me and my guys here, we went out and got bought up all the coats. I don't think there's any coats left in Northeast Philadelphia right now.
That's unbelievable.
You know what I mean?
Isn't that cool, man? How cool is that?
Right, I mean, that's unbelievable you guys did this, man. I mean, there's so many needy people out here, and you guys took it out your own pockets, man. That's unbelievable, man. So big ups to you guys. You know what I mean? Big ups to you guys.
You guys have been doing this for a long time. Let's talk about it a little bit, what it means to give back this time of year and how important that is.
Yeah, I think for ourselves and, for our community as well. I mean, being neighborhood guys, we really take pride in our city and, where we come from, man. And, you know, it's cold seeing those people out there. You know what I mean? People that we've been so fortunate. I mean,
no question.
Right. You know what I mean? And this time of the year always reminds me of how fortunate I really am. You know, especially around Thanksgiving and coming up on Christmas. You drive around the city sometimes, man, you see these people that really, you know, don't have anywhere to be or don't have somewhere to go, and you know, it just reminds you, like, you know, how grateful we are to be in the positions we are, and to be able to give a little back in this way is, you know, it speaks volumes, man. It really does.
Yeah.
And, like Mike said, you know, it all starts with leadership and just kind of trickles down, and that trickle-down effect, you know, we really, as a union,
that's what I'm saying. Stand-up guys, man. Stand-up guys. And
that's what it's all
understanding
about.
Everything that's going on. I mean, like you said, you ride around, you see these kids outside playing, no coach. Look, you guys provide them with coach. I mean, that's just unbelievable how you guys do that. You know?
And look, you take for granted sometimes the roof over your head, right? The fact that you have something, a meal, you have a coat to wear if it's cold outside, and you don't. We tend to sometimes think to ourselves, oh, this is the way everybody has it, but they don't, you know. Yeah. So it's awesome that you guys do.
Yeah,
this.
man. We had a great time doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not only like you're giving back, but you just have a good time. You feel good.
Yeah.
You know, and you're doing it for a cause, and this is great. And I appreciate Kraus for having us out here and doing this. And we have about 350 coats.
What?
And so this is just a small portion right here.
Yeah, there's way more, right?
There's way more, and he's doing something with vets. So we bought a lot of men's coats. You know, for the veterans.
Yeah,
for
people
veterans.
who have served our country, who are back,
he's
who
going to
maybe
serve
down
the
their luck a
veterans
little.
with all the men's coats.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you know, it just gives me the chills thinking about it. You know, that we're in a position to help out, and I'm talking from the top all the way down. Like Jack said, everybody contributed it.
Yeah.
You know, just this, you know, and not even a blink of an eye.
Well, Joe, let's talk about this, like the brotherhood that you guys have and coming together for this kind of thing. You know, what it's all about.
Yeah, from coats to anything that's kind of comes up in the past, like our membership just shows up. You know, guys enjoy it. I think that's the most important thing of being, you know, a local union.
Got the sweet swag too, right there.
Everybody
Nice.
grew up around here. Everybody lives here. They work here, and anytime things like this come up, our membership right away.
Yeah.
And you know, like the first job you get on, you know, I was on a job, a guy got hurt. It's different union, different everything, and you know, go around with the bucket, and you think, oh, I'll put $5 in, and you see guys just peeling off 20s, you know, and as a young guy, you don't realize, but the older guys just like, this is what you do.
Yeah.
You know, you got to look out for each
That's
other.
family, man.
That changes the life. It changes the guy's life.
You know, it starts from there, and then as the young guys come in, that tradition just keeps passing along. And this is just another example of that. You know?
Fun fact: Jim Snell and I went to the same high school. We hung out. We hung out back in the day. So I have a lot of secrets that I could reveal to you guys. And for a certain cash prize, I might do it. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't know this much talent came out of Bonner.
That's correct.
Now I know.
See, you guys are finally learning, man. That's just what it's all about.
Pretty
Now,
classy for upper garbage.
That's right. Don't be jealous. It's okay. Now let's get where's everybody from? Where are you from?
I'm from Northeast Philadelphia.
Okay.
I'm from Morton in Delaware County.
Oh, you're a Delco guy. Okay. How about you, Jack?
Also from Northeast Philadelphia.
You got a couple Northeast guys. I like it, and a Delco guy. That's about as good as it gets, Barrett. You're surrounded by some quality.
That's our
talent
Eagles,
here.
Dallas.
That's
our rivalry.
Right.
In Northeast Philly. That's what we do, man.
That's the corner of the end zone, you know, that I know about right
there. Now, I know you guys are obviously huge Eagles fans, too, and you got the shirt on right now, the Super Bowl 52 representing right there. So let's talk about this. This is unbelievable to start, man. How exciting is this?
It's very exciting, and we were just talking over there. I've been watching football for over 30 years. I've never seen a kid get so locked in and make such a change in 1 year that Jalen Hurts has. Like, I never, you know, like, with everybody talking everything they had to say about him last year, you know, and just to bring it back here, it's just everything about him. He's locked in, and he's making the right decisions, and like I just love it.
Yeah.
I just love being a fan right now.
As if like we didn't need anything else to love this team, but to have a guy like that representing this team, it makes you feel good.
I'm just so happy.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy for him.
It's incredible.
I'm happy to be.
I think you speak for the Delaware Valley. You know, how can't you be happy with this?
When you're born, you're in a onesie that says Eagles on it. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? I'm in one right now. You just can't see it underneath this.
Like, this is just great, man.
He does it just like you guys do it, you know.
That's right.
Go out there, work hard, you know, do your thing.
Yeah.
Man, they got to make this kid leave. They got to make Jalen Hurts leave, or else he won't leave the facility.
Yeah, that's
how tied in and locked in he is right now for the season.
And that just goes back to like us guys as a city. We're blue collar, work hard. You know what I mean? Bring your lunch pail to work.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that's what this kid's doing. And a lot of guys on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love when they buy in.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
a
when
highly
everybody
likable
buys in.
bunch, man. Like there aren't. Let's face it. There have been other teams before. You're like, all right, this guy's a jerk, but at least he's my jerk. There aren't a lot of jerks on this team. There's a lot. Like you like these guys genuinely. Look, it helps when you win. Don't get me wrong.
No question. I've been around teams that it wasn't a team at all. You know what I'm saying? You were so cliquish. You know what I'm saying? But this team, they are so close. You know what I'm saying? You could tell they literally hang around each other. Like, I mean, Rob's my dog. That's my dude. I love him to death, man. But we hang around sometimes. You know? These guys are always around each other. Always. You know what I mean?
What's game day for you? What's it look like? Where are you watching the game? What's the whole? Give me the whole nine. You at the local establishment? You at the house? Where you at?
So, funny story. This past week, I was up at my girlfriend's parents' house.
Okay.
They happen to fall a little bit north in the Jersey border.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I had a great time fist pumping in that living room. You know what I mean? I think that's the last time I'll be invited. Over But my stepdad actually has a bus. He's a season ticket holder, so they park down on Darien Street every week. You know, every home game.
Yeah.
We're down there. I was down at the Dallas game, and I mean, you know, we as Philly fans, we kind of been spoiled these past couple months. I think. You know what I mean?
No question.
You know,
it's not an effort to put an Eagles game on. Everybody wants
that's
to watch
true.
it. You know what I mean?
True.
So, I mean,
That's
my grandfather had season tickets back, the vet before that.
Yeah.
Been inherited to my uncle, so it's the first thing going on, and that's really what everybody's waiting for. Nobody wants it. Nobody really likes Christmas ham. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. That's just between us. We want that. How about you? What's the plan?
Well, I got to make a stop.
You're not going to your in-laws. We know that.
I'm leaving early.
Okay.
Making sure I get back down to my uncles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take a seat, eat some food, watch it with the family. You know what I mean? It's like Joe said. It's not really. We don't got to pull too many. Tug too many arms to, turn the Birds game on.
I'll be in my studio. I have to be down at the Wells Fargo, sitting in my office chair watching the game, and I got to watch it in the office, man.
How big's the TV down there?
Huh?
How big's the TV down there?
Bro.
That's what I thought.
I mean, it's a little bitty monitor TV.
You need an 80-incher down there,
Barrett.
Barrett.
Some of
I'm working on it now.
Here.
See, we won a Super Bowl. I told him it's going to be in my next contract. I need an 82-inch TV. I need Crown Royal and
stateside.
a little stateside vodka at my disposal.
Local 420 will run something. We'll get that TV down there.
See that?
We'll do a little.
You got
we'll
the
do a little
perfect guys
bucket for
right
local
here,
420.
man.
We'll chip
What
in.
have I been doing?
We'll get you.
That's what I'm talking about.
We'll get you a man's TV.
Now
there we go.
I got to tell you, I was very happy that I didn't recognize anybody's faces. Here's where I'm going with this. So Barrett and I played some of your brothers, your 420 brothers in basketball, not all that long ago.
That's why y'all still sitting here, because I'm still mad at them guys.
I heard about this.
And they were talking stuff to me too. They was shooting and elbowing me like, yo, bro.
To say we got our asses kicked might be an understatement. It was not pretty. So I need you guys to plant the seed to have some mercy on us for the next game. All right?
Yeah.
Do us a favor, because we need all the help we can get.
No. I'm starting to run.
Barrett's
3
already
months
working
before
out.
then. Yeah, I'm gonna get in shape, bro.
Yeah, he's like Jalen Hurts. Oh man, that's true.
It's the season. It's the season for cookies, bro.
This is the first time I've been to Screwballs.
It's great, isn't it?
I got the hot garlic wings.
Yes, good
That's
move.
an absolute party in your mouth.
Good move.
An absolute party in the
The
mouth.
food is insane. I
had it last time I was here.
Barrett, wait do you see what the haul that Barrett walks out of this place with? I mean, it is going to be something to behold. And a bunch of those.
About 3 more statesides.
Exactly.
Oh,
You have to haul me out of here.
All right, so once again, a huge thank you to you guys and all your brothers, Steam Fitters Local 420, and our guy Jimmy Snell. Bonner, proud. Had to sneak that in. But I mean, just look at this layout and the amount of coats. And like you said, just remind everybody again, Mike, you guys aren't done, man. You're taking care of our vets as well.
Yeah, this is this guy. I got the chills right now, man. It just being able to give back. It's better to give than receive. I've known that all my life. And we have this little bit here, but our hall is loaded with more coats. Crossy's going to come by and grab them, and we're going to load them up. And then the vets are going to get, I think, about 60 to 80 coats we got lined up for them.
That's awesome.
And take care of everybody.
Man.
We do this every year.
Thank you, man.
We love being a part
Thank
of
you, guys.
it.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Mike, Joe, and Jack from the Steam Fitters Local 420 doing great stuff. And Keeping the city running, man. That's exactly what they do. All right, so we're going to come back, Barrett and I. Henry will jump on. Krause, we got the whole crowd. We're not done. We'll put a bow on this, and we're also going to preview this Bears game as well, Barrett. We'll get a little prediction, and Barrett, some of Barrett's keys, who does a great job breaking this thing down. But we're not going anywhere. You don't go anywhere. We are countdown to kickoff, coming to you from Screwballs in King of Prussia.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing, the second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs, and then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Number 1, Jeff D'Ambrosio. Destination Downingtown is rolling back prices for a December to remember. For a limited time, you can own, not lease, brand new 2023 Jeep Wranglers for only $30,995 or $339 per month. New Rams starting at only $30,995 or new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs $189 per month. Zero down can deliver. Get the price you want, the selection you need, and the VIP treatment you deserve. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Big Finish Sales Event.
All right, we are back. What a great crowd here at Screwballs, and we appreciate everybody at Screwballs and King of Prussia coming out and hanging out with us. We got our coat drive here, Krause's coat drive, doing an amazing job. Just finished up talking to our friends, our local 420 guys, Mike, Joe, and Jack with the Steam Fitters, and we appreciate them. Barrett Brooks hanging out with
Joe
us.
And Jack.
The coach, Henry Racich. All right, guys, so let's dig into this Bears game. Now, we've talked about it a lot. It'd be an easy game for the Eagles just to look ahead to the Cowboys. That's for sure, but I think we're all on the same page. This team's pretty dialed in. That's not going to be the case. Now, where they present problems is Justin Fields can run, okay?
Absolutely.
He's going to be over 1,000 yards for the season. He's averaging 75 yards per game. Barrett, what do you have to do look, he's going to get chunks, but not to let him kill you, because he's had 3 out of the last 4 games. He's gone over 50 yards on one singular run. So what do you have to do?
This has to be the most disciplined game by everybody as far as their run fits. Everybody has to make sure they cover their gap, because that's where they beat teams. They try to pull people and outflank you and displace you in your gaps, which opens up bigger holes, and that's what makes them good. They run a lot of misdirections, so you got to make sure you stay where you're supposed to be at. You cannot allow them to go ahead and move you away, or not let you get to your gap, or you get reached out outside, or you can't do that. You got to make sure that you stay assignment correct, stay in your gaps, and make sure that you play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. You got to reestablish the line of scrimmage. Penetration kills all run plays, and they're a run-oriented team. And plus, you hit him a couple times, he'll be a little more timid in running the rock.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Henry. You know this as a coach. These kind of guys can certainly be dangerous, but this is a limited offense, man. He doesn't have a lot of weapons. They got
Absolutely.
Chase Claypool, who you know very well from his Steeler days, but not much else in terms of the throwing in the passing game.
I mean, this Eagles defense plays against Jalen Hurts at practice. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
he's going to get another taller, leaner version of him. Without weapons behind them, there's not a whole lot to worry about. I mean, Claypool's a big target and stuff, but it's not like Field is going to sit in the pocket and pick you apart. They may blitz more this week. You may actually see an Eagles blitz defense. Why not gamble a little? But now I don't see it presenting a problem, especially with the focus that this team has. Like the worst thing about some of the elite teams, they have these letdowns. They lose concentration for a game, or a trap game per se. But I don't even think it's anything close to that.
Barrett, Bears come off a bye. Helps them a little bit. You get the target on your back because everybody's gunning for you. you know, I almost feel like we're like manufacturing reasons to try to make this thing look like it's going to be tighter than it is.
Bro, I looked at film the last 2 days, and I'm really trying to pick stuff that can hurt the Eagles.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for me to do it because when I look at film, I look at what they do best. And what they do best, I think the Eagles have gained an upper hand as far as stopping guys with, you know, that they used to be able to, you know, they used to be able to run the ball on our team.
Mm-hmm.
Not now. I mean, Linval Joseph, Davis, Sue, Fletcher Cox, Hargraves, they reestablished a new line of scrimmage 2 and 3 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And it's hard for you to do anything from a run standpoint because, number one, you can't pull anybody because it knocks them off their pull. The running back can't gain momentum going into the line of scrimmage because he's bumping into the guys before he even gets going. Those are all things that you see. But it's going to be crucial that the defensive end plays sound football this game because the boots, the misdirections, the waggle protections where they pull the backside guard out and have him almost like an escort to the outside.
Right.
If he can get him on the outside, he can throw and he can run. So it's got to be a great game by the defensive ends. They can in their lane with their lane discipline.
Yeah.
With great lane discipline.
I look at the other side, Henry. They're the worst. Well, second worst. They're in the bottom 3 against the run. To me, early. Look, I think the Eagles can hurt them in a lot of different ways, but man, pound it down their throat until they show they can stop it.
I mean, do what gets you here. That's the bread and butter of this offense is their ability to move any line, to move any defense and run against them. While you guys are talking, I was just sitting here when Barrett listed all the names of that defensive line.
Yeah.
Why they don't have a nickname yet, like the Green Wall?
Well,
I mean, when is there going to be a nickname? The Green Wall.
Yeah, you had one.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, when he was listing all those defensive linemen, there's a circle around all those names, and then the offensive line. What team has this incredible trenches on both sides of the ball?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
This team is
And
built
they're so
well in the
unsung.
trenches. When you build well in the trenches, you can pretty much have anybody else as a specialist. If you have a dominant offensive line, a dominant defensive line, it really hides any other position you have on the field.
Yeah. No, you're
It
right.
hides it.
You're right.
I mean, this Eagles offense, to me, if there was a rule for one weekend in the NFL where you were not allowed to pass the ball, they would still mash whoever was in front of them eventually.
Yeah.
It gets some resistance. I just feel like this team gets stronger as they play. Remember early in the season, they're not doing anything in the second half.
Right.
They're not now.
They were only scoring in the second
taking
quarter.
people out in the second half.
Yeah, the guys don't play in the fourth quarter.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Think about the stuff we used to. They only score in the second quarter. Special team stinks.
Right.
Run defense. They don't pass block well. All that stuff has just been shredded. You know, and the other thing is, this Bears team does not get after the quarterback. Their leading sack guy has 3 sacks, and he's a safety.
Oh, no, not just a safety, a rookie safety.
He's a rookie safety. Yeah, second rounder out of Penn State, Brisker. That's all. That's, you know, if the Eagles don't shoot themselves in the foot, this should be cruise control.
I'm really surprised that I'm not hearing more Super Bowl talk out of this town.
It's going to be cold. Not because we're Negadelphia. That's what we do.
We're waiting for something bad to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
The doom and gloom is always there.
I
no,
thought
but I'm
the
saying,
Super Bowl.
week after week, the more I watch the Eagles and the more I watch the rest of the league, because early in the season I'm like, all right, they're ranked 5th, 6th. But now I'm like, how are they not ranked 1?
Yeah.
They're dominating at both sides of the ball.
These things, these polls, these rankings, whatever they are that ESPN
Are they the
puts out
writers?
are absurd. It's absurd. No, I honestly think it's done just to get us talking about it. It's
They
not legit.
do it to piss us off.
They
That's
do.
what it is. They
And
know
it
we're going
works.
to respond.
And it works.
They know we're going to respond.
Yeah.
They always know we're going to respond.
We say we do the no one likes us, we don't care.
But we really
total BS. We totally care. We
Yeah,
totally care.
that's why we say we don't care. When you don't care, you'd never say I don't care.
We would just be like, what? All right, whatever. Eagles are 12-1.
And that's why that song happened for the Phillies.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Dancing on our own.
Yeah.
We could tell a whole show about that.
Coach loves Callum Scott. It's his favorite artist.
Did you hear the songs playing in the background of locker room during wins in the Phillies?
Oh yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep. Here it comes. Here it comes. I don't think the Eagles have a song yet. Do
You
they?
ever heard it?
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh,
I don't-
man.
Baseball puts me to
Go
sleep.
back and look at it, bro.
But the Eagles don't have any, they're all Batman.
Yeah.
So if there was one Batman, there's 4 Batman.
Skinny Batman,
but
small
man,
Batman.
There's got to be some, I like the green wall.
I like it too, man.
Being an old curtain guy, but I mean, what was the Eagles? The green
Green Machine.
Green Machine. That was the last Eagle moniker, right?
Yeah, there's been a bunch, like Buddy, Bird Gang, all those kind of things with Buddy and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the charm that they don't. They're just
maybe
like
Sirianni will not allow anyone to step out as an individual light. Maybe that's part of the whole mantra.
I do think that's one of the great things about them. Like, there are games where A.J. Brown gets 3 passes or Devontae Smith gets 2. The ultimate diva position is a wideout.
Right.
Would have been complaining. These guys are just like, all right, did we win? Good, let's go. On to the next
one. What if T.O. showed up on this team? You think they throw him out of the locker room?
Yes.
Because he's an eye guy all day, right?
He is.
But Barrett, have you ever seen a team so glued from the top all the way, from the glory to the water boy? I feel like they're all in zen, this whole team.
Absolutely.
I actually did, man. And they got that logo on your helmet.
Yeah,
man. It was so tight, man, that guys would go out. I mean, it wasn't a cliquish type of place. Guys would meet each other's house and we'd play cards there. Offensive players, defensive players, all that stuff.
That's when the standard started.
Yeah.
Not this standard I've been hearing the past 5 years.
I mean, I've been telling people, like, we were so tied in and everything that we went actually 6 weeks of practice without dropping a ball in practice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Without dropping a foot. Let me tell you, he was hitting, boom, boom, boom. Everybody's catching. When they finally dropped the ball in like week 10, everybody was pissed. Pissed. Our team was so tight that during the course of the season, like, we knew we played against the best teams in practice. So we went and played on Sunday. It seemed like it was easy.
Yeah, right.
Because I've already played against Joey Porter and James Harrison. So who am I going to say is going to give me a better pass rush than that?
Yeah.
Who's going to give me a better look than Troy Polamalu, and I'm a quarterback and a safety?
Well, that must be how an Eagles practice is right now, because they're tops on both sides.
Exactly. You're going against Lane Johnson and Mylott and Kelsey, right? Or you're going against Fletcher Cox and Hargrave and Sue and Joseph.
But what was the average age of that team? Because I feel like the Eagles are really young.
Yeah.
To have the maturity that they're having in front of the microphone.
It was actually just like this team. They had mixed vets in there, like myself.
Right.
Like, they used me almost like a coach, a player coach.
Right.
Russ Grimm would tell me, hey, go overtake Max Starks and all those guys over there and teach them this. And then they call it up, team, and then I'd bring them back over and we practice.
You need that. That is so important.
Yeah, it's critical.
In the dynamic of things, because that lets the young guys know, I'm a vet, I bought in.
Yep.
You're a rook. There's 2 levels of bought in above you. What you think ain't really going to mean that much. Just buy in.
I'll tell you the other thing. Like, we thought for a minute maybe the team was peaking. They had that little lull period where there was the loss to Washington. They maybe didn't play great in Indianapolis or in Houston, and we're thinking, oh, man, they peaked too early. That's wiped out. I mean, all the issues we thought that they had, they seem to have corrected and gotten better at. They added some personnel. I mean, don't sleep on that Sue and Linval Joseph move. They were big moves, and they're just getting better and better every single week.
Wasn't I forget what Steeler it was this one that was upset about Ben being cavalier? Like, his first season, he went so far to 15 in one season. Was it the bus, or was it Heinrich? Somebody, he promised the bus he'd come back, but I thought one of the vets was upset that this rookie was so cavalier about the loss. Maybe that was a story that I heard from somewhere else. But I'm wondering if the rookies that are here, the young kids, this ride is special. Do they realize how special this is? Because it might not happen again.
That's a good point.
Like Marino,
it's hard to have that
to get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's hard to have that perspective.
But they're so young.
Yeah.
You never do, man. Like, San Antonio Holmes, he didn't understand, when they won their Super Bowl in 2008. You had guys like when I was playing Chris Kimawatu, Max Starks. They thought they were always going to be, because they came in the 15 in 1 year.
Yeah.
And then the next year we won the Super Bowl, so they thought they was going to win like that every single year.
Every year was going to be at least that.
Right.
I mean, even my rookie year, I came in as a rookie, started and went to the playoffs, played against Detroit, beat the hell out of them. I thought I was going to go to the playoffs every year after that. We ended up going to playoffs that next year also.
Right.
But then after that, it fell off. Bloom.
Right.
But then, it's you think it's going to be like that, but, man, I mean, just enjoy the ride. That's one thing I learned towards the end of my career. It wasn't until, like, my second, my 11th or 12th year, I was like, man, I should go out there and start getting autographs from these players that, you know, I didn't have a chance to get an autograph from Mr. White, Mr. Reggie White. I should have. He's my favorite player.
Oh, man.
The most dominant player ever played the game. Jerry Rice. I went to go ask him, hey, man, can I get an autograph? He looked at me because we beat him. He looked at me and just walked off. So, you know, I gave him a couple
See,
of
I don't like
FUs
that.
and everything
I don't
else.
like that. I don't like that.
Well, that's where I'll give Tom Brady a little love. Like, they played terrible last week, and he had a couple picks. And the guys on the Niners came up to him after the game. They were very respectful. They're like, listen, I know this is tough, but we're huge fans. Would you sign these balls? And they're balls of picks that he threw, and he signed.
Yeah, well, he knows he's done.
But that's pretty gracious.
He's going out.
He could have pulled a Jerry Rice on you.
Come on, he wouldn't even shake anybody's hand for 10 years.
He knows he's the GOAT,
He
though,
knows
man.
he's the GOAT. He's got, well, now he's under, you know, the microscope, everything he does.
Yeah, he knows the time's
But
coming.
no, that's great insight, Barrett. I love that.
No, but those stories, man, are unbelievable. All right, so let's look at it here. Give me how you think this thing shakes out, and throw a prediction in there for Sunday.
I'm going 32-14. Eagles just totally dominate the game. I mean, it's going to be one of those games where they're going to cross their T's, dot their I's, and it's going to be a boring game too.
Okay.
I'm looking at a boring game.
I like boring wins.
Yeah, it's going to be a boring game.
I'm good with that.
Boring win, and we ride into Dallas week.
All right, how about you, Coach?
I'm going to go 24-10 because I think they're going to do the monitoring of the players' minutes, with the load management, and pull the. I think they're going to get up and just pull them like they did last week.
Okay.
That's all I heard.
I think, yeah, you were overserved. It wasn't your fault.
It was not my fault.
Yes. I'm looking at it from this standpoint. I think the Eagles jump on them early, and then what you're going to see is maybe Fields will get some stuff later when the game is almost getting out of reach, and you're going to see at the end of the game, oh, man, he rushed for 110 yards, but you're like, it didn't kill the Eagles.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? He ended up getting his.
He's had some pretty amazing long runs.
Look, he's fun to watch, and I'm not. He is, and once he gets some help, that dude's going to be nasty. Right now, he's doing what he has to do with the running. That stuff will slow down as his career goes on. It will.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt. But I think the Eagles win this thing. I think they win it pretty comfortably. I think they get in around the 35 range. I think the Bears will end up with like 17, but 7 of those are going to come late when the game's out of hand. But I think the Eagles will win it pretty comfortably. All right, that was fun,
clean
man.
sweep, right?
That was fun. Yeah, clean
Appreciate
sweep.
it. Hey, Crosley, thank you. Let me take your chair, bro.
Job out of all of our
Great
friends
job
here,
with the co-drive.
Chris and Nick and Krause and all the folks here
Great show.
at Screwballs. We do appreciate you coming out.
Outdrank Barrett.
How about bringing out all these coats, man? This is just amazing. And
Unbelievable.
Krause doing a great job collecting the coats each and every year for the less fortunate, that's for sure. All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back at it once again right here next week at Screwballs for Countdown to Kickoff. For Barrett Brooks, Henry Rasich, Joe Krause, I am Rob Ellis. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.